Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Saints podcast here on the campus of Seward County Community College. Thank you for joining us today. We are back, and at the table with me this afternoon, I have a couple of our great library crew. Got Bryan Symons and Casandra Norin. Hey, guys, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing today?
Wonderful.
Great. Casandra, we kind of had a podcast not too long ago talking about, kind of the services the library offers and all the great fun activities you guys have going on. And but we do have like a special kind of event, a special reading event coming up within this next week. A Dear, is that it? Would you talk about that a little bit?
Exactly. Next Wednesday, February 23rd, we're going to have Dear Day at the library. And Dear stands for Drop Everything and Read. And it's celebrated on Beverly Cleary's birthday, but it doesn't really fit in with our campus schedule, so we're having it a little early. And the goal of the day is to really, stress how important reading is. And it really is important for everybody, from, the tech school on to wherever. All across campus, reading is really important. And so what we're trying to do is to just take the day and stress the importance of reading. And we're doing it several ways. We're inviting faculty, staff, and students to take time out to read. And more specifically, faculty can show, in class how important reading is by recommending, their favorite books, either professionally or personally. And also bring students to the library, check out class sets of magazines so that they can discuss an article or just whatever they want. We're going to have a lot of prizes in the library that day, and it's just going to be a lot of fun.
Very, very cool. So we celebrate this for Beverly Cleary's birthday. So the Ramona books, right? And so my question is, when's Judy Blume's Day, huh? Why don't we have Judy Blume Day and Fudge and Super Fudge and Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing Day?
Oh my goodness! Next semester we'll have Fudge Day and just eat fudge.
Let's do it.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm writing it down because this was Dear Day was actually a faculty member approached me about it. So a lot of people know me as the crazy librarian who is always recommending and pushing books onto people.
Yeah.
But so this is not my idea. So well.
Sort
I'm
of.
running with it, but
sort of.
Yeah, I'm still going to push books onto people, and
Yeah, so at least the blame's not all on Cassandra.
Exactly. So this is not 100% my idea.
So we're gearing up for Reading Week next week, and so what are we reading right now, Bryan? What are you reading right now?
I have a book about Charles de Gaulle's lifetime and from when he was a child to his service in World War I and World War II as the leader of the resistance and basically being the leader during the government exile during that 1940s time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm using that as my class assignment as a book from the library for a class assignment that I have due at the end of the semester.
Yeah. Yeah, and Charles de Gaulle is one of the former presidents of France and stuff like that, too. Very cool. So and you don't have to necessarily read a book for school either. You can read some fun stuff by yourself. Like, Casandra, I'm sure you're reading some fun stuff right now. What do you got?
Oh, my goodness. I just finished Brené Brown's new book, which is an encyclopedia on emotions.
Yeah.
And it was she works primarily with shame. And so, this one is her, describing all the different emotions and putting words to it. It was so beautiful, and I just resonated with a lot of it. And what was most interesting to me about this book was that most people can only name just a few emotions, and so this one gives you the vocabulary to deal with your emotions.
Yeah. Brené Brown, actually, she does a lot with social emotional growth, and she's actually one of the researchers right now that's really helping quantify social science and bringing the quantitative data, or the quantitative data and marrying that with the qualitative data. So yeah, I do very familiar with Brené Brown. And like I said last time, one of my favorite books, one of my favorite authors is Terry Pratchett. So I've kind of been going back through reading some of the Discworld, and like I had mentioned, just Terry Pratchett, he's a satirical fantasy author that has just such a special insight into humanity, told through elves and dwarves and stuff like that. So I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. So that's one of my favorite authors. Anyway, what about you guys? What favorite authors do you guys have?
I don't really know if I have a favorite author.
Bryan, very diplomatic over here. What about you, Casandra? Let me put it this way. Some of your favorite authors of all time, and then maybe who you're geeking out on right now.
Okay, well, right now I'm geeking out on Benjamin Alire-Sainz, and I've mentioned this every time because he is so brilliant. He is a gay Latino man who writes this series. I mean, there's 2 books in the series so far about, two boys growing up in El Paso in the 1980s, like during the AIDS crisis. It is just beautiful, and it's going to like rip your heart out and then stomp on it like 20 times and then put it back into your chest, and then at the end it's beating. It's just beautiful. So like all time and right now that's who I'm reading. You know what? Daniel Pink, who is a psychologist, has a new book out that I think is coming in soon. So I'm going to check that one out as soon as it might already be in. I don't know. But yeah, you're asking me to name my favorite child.
To name your favorite child. It's like, which is your favorite child? Who's your, it's like you have to give up one. Sophie's choice here.
But the good thing is that there is, a book for everybody and an author for and if you don't like my authors, there's somebody out there for you in the library. And maybe you, Eric, wouldn't like the books I read, and I might not like the books you read, but,
I can definitely see that.
If you come into the library, I can help you find a book that you might enjoy.
So come in and find a book that you might enjoy. So and like I said, Pratchett, one of my favorites. I also like Howard K. Bloom. He's I read a lot of sociology books. I like it when they tie kind of history into the evolution of society now. So there's Howard Bloom does that really well. One of my favorite authors too there. And speaking of Howard Bloom, he had a book, one of my favorites called The Lucifer Principle. It's really, again, kind of ties, how society and the superorganism and kind of things. But it was banned. It was one of those that was challenged books. And I've seen recently, actually this has just been within the last week or so, that a Tennessee school board had banned Mouse. The graphic novel Mouse. Casandra, have you heard about that?
Yeah, it's becoming more and more common for usually schools, but sometimes also public libraries, to ban books. And, in my opinion, it's unfortunate. And, but at the same time, it maybe it is fortunate because it's getting more people to see this book. So if it's banned, circulation spikes. So
and that's actually what happened. Is sales of Mouse just absolutely skyrocketed. If you're not familiar with the book, Mouse it's actually a graphic novel, and it was written by a man whose father was in the Holocaust, in the concentration camps. And it's kind of a graphical retelling of like cats and mice, but I mean, definitely went through the frame of the Holocaust, and banned recently by a Tennessee school board. And that's just, like I said, within the last week. Do we have a copy of Mouse?
Yes.
We do?
Yeah, of course. So come check it out.
So there we go. And I mean, and if you go through and look at some of the most commonly challenged books, stuff like A Brave New World. A Brave New World was one of my favorites, growing up.
Oh, see, I couldn't get into it.
Yeah,
I just didn't understand it.
And see, I like dystopian fiction too. So Brave New World, 1984, a couple on the ban list, but stuff like Bridge to Terabithia, that was banned and challenged. Do you guys remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad too.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, Casandra, just off the top of your head, how many of those banned or challenged books do you think you've read?
Oh, lots of them. Lots of them. And, the SCCC library has a lot of books that have been banned or challenged.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so head over there. And you guys have put up like a display or something like that. Hey, these books have been challenged or banned sometimes. So, definitely go check it out. Go find out what you're not supposed to be reading. Yeah, because that's what you're supposed to be reading. All right. Okay. So, I mean, we got Read Week coming up. DEAR. What does that stand for again, Casandra?
Drop everything and read.
Drop everything and read. So we're encouraging students to come to the library and check it out. You guys do have some events going on like right now, though, don't you?
We had an event earlier today that was amazing. We had, in conjunction with the inclusivity and civility team, we had some speakers come talking about, in honor of Black History Month, talking about their experiences growing up Black in America.
Yeah. Yeah, and the library puts on that kind of stuff just absolutely all the time. So if you're interested in events and activities in the library, just swing by. Casandra, you'll let them know, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And we've been trying to start a book club, and so I have a few students. The first book is Lord of the Rings, which not my cup of tea again, but I'm going to try to read it.
Oh,
So,
Casandra, you're killing me. You're killing me here.
if you want to be the moderator for but we've been slow at getting it started, and so if you are interested in that, come stop by the library, pick up a copy of the book to check out, and join us. Give us some leadership, because
I
it's
don't
Lord
know.
of the Rings. It's
Lord
huge.
of the Rings, yeah. So are you guys doing it book by book, or are you doing the whole?
We're not sure. We're trying to figure it out. So.
Start small with The Hobbit. Start with The Hobbit, and then get in the Lord of the
But
Rings.
don't they
book by
all
book.
read The Hobbit in high school?
Yeah, I don't know. I read it in middle school.
Oh, I read
of
it in
course-
high school,
See,
freshman
I was a
year.
fantasy nerd, though.
Oh.
So, yeah. All right, guys. Anything else before we get ready to wrap up this afternoon?
No, stop by the library, check it out. Come by on Deer Day, win a prize, Come and talk with us.
There we go. Yeah, come in the library. Take advantage of all the great books and services and everything that they offer. All right, thank you guys so much for coming in this afternoon. It was great, and I might have to brush up on my Tolkien for you.
Perfect.
We'll
Okay,
see.
you're
I
the
don't
moderator.
know. I don't know. No, I'm not going that far. But maybe. All right. Casandra, Bryan, thank you guys so much for coming in today. So if you are currently watching, they would love to have you. Of course, we've got Drop Everything and Read coming up next week. So pick up a book, or, hey, come to the library and find your new favorite author. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll catch you next time.